It seems like Bethesda have done everything they can to ensure that Fallout 76 is an absolute train wreck. Miraculously though, there are still players playing the game despite all the issues. Well, now Bethesda have gone and done it again and caused another huge row, which is dividing the remaining players. They just can't help themselves, can they? Fallout 76 was a game mired in controversy since the very beginning. From the backlash to the announcement of an online-only Fallout game, the horrible, buggy and unfinished state in which the game launched, to the cries of false advertising when the Power Armor edition of the game shipped with a nylon bag instead of the more expensive canvas one. Much to Bethesda's relief, however, it's been all quiet on the Fallout 76 controversy front for the past couple of months or so. Some might say too quiet. But fear not, much like a recovering addict who can't resist the thrill of the next high, it was only a matter of time before Bethesda fell off the wagon. The controversy this time around is regarding a promise made by Bethesda prior to launch.
Bethesda published a post on November the 2nd last year with details of the Atomic Shop, also known as the microtransaction store in the game. The Atomic Shop was founded to give you as much choice and variety in how you want to customize and celebrate your adventures. It doesn't offer anything with a competitive advantage, and more so, it aims to bring joy not just to you, but to the other dwellers around you. Oh, if you buy the microtransactions, you make everyone else's life better.
Yeah.
You're such a saint for buying a skin.
That's some marketing spiel. That's some bloody hell.
Also speaking to GameSpot at PAX Australia in late October last year, executive at Bethesda Pete Hines said the following about the Atomic Shop. If you don't want to spend money in the Atomic Shop for cosmetic stuff, you don't have to. We give you a shitload of atoms for just playing the game. Folks that want to spend money on whatever the hell it is because they don't have enough atoms, they can. But it's not, I'm now better playing against other players because I spent money. It's not pay to win, and it's not loot crates.
Well, it seems that Bethesda have either had a bout of amnesia, or they've decided that they don't actually care about their remaining loyal players, or about fixing their tattered reputation. Published yesterday, Bethesda posted to their website what was in store for the upcoming patch number 8, which goes live very soon on April the 9th. Basic repair kits and improved repair kits on new items which will be introduced into the game with the patch. The basic version will fix a weapon to 100% condition, and the improved version will actually buff them to 150% condition. Do they know how percentages work at Bethesda? How do you get a weapon that's 100% condition? Answer me that one. These items will be attainable by completing in-game challenges, or more controversially, unlockable in the Atomic Shop using atoms which you've purchased.
Their justification for betraying players' trust like this is detailed in the following paragraph. Basic repair kits in the Atomic Shop. We read tons of feedback and suggestions from the Fallout 76 community, and repair kits were a popular request that we wanted to get into players' hands. We also felt we could try out something new with these, both in-game and in the Atomic Shop. As we look to the future, we're exploring ways we can bring other community-driven ideas to the game as well, such as refrigerators for camps, ammo and food converters, and even the ability to send scrap to your stash without having to head home. Repair kits are our first attempt at a utility item like this, and we plan to make adjustments based on your feedback, so we hope you'll share your thoughts with us when they go live later this month. The community has already raised this as an issue in multiple posts on the Fallout 76 subreddit. One post, which has over 5,000 upvotes within 18 hours, user scientist Rick Sanchez says the following.
Get riggedy wrecked, son!
Okay, so a non-cosmetic item in the Atom Shop. This is not a good sign for the game. Bethesda, no. This is a direct violation of the cosmetics only promise. In fact, look at the wording of their post. In the same heading, they mention features such as refrigerators, ammo scrapping, and transferring scrap to inventory without stashes. There's a severe possibility that all of these could actually be purchases from the Atom Shop. This would let players who pay extra have a significantly different gameplay experience, the very definition of pay to win. The repair kits may seem trivial, but they are not the disease. They are the symptom. Who knows what comes next? They are slowly acclimatizing us to the more drastic, game-changing content in the store. And while this may sound like conjecturing and fear-mongering, history has enough precedents. It sounds very like political, like a new Hitler's come on the scene. It's like, we've seen this before. History's repeating itself.
I think that, you know, he's raising exceptions to the game, and he's trying to make sure that people don't characterize him as just like a hater. So he uses a couple of long words towards the end just to make sure that people know that he's fear-mongering. It sounds like conjecture, I'm sure. And it seems like a decent portion of the community on Reddit actually agree with scientist Rick Sanchez.
The world is full of idiots that don't understand what's important.
Although there are those who don't see this as a huge issue, saying that they will just ignore the repair kits and continue playing regardless. But the main issue here isn't whether the purchasable repair kits give you a huge advantage in-game or not, because you could discuss that all day. The biggest problem for Bethesda here is that this is another controversy which they could do without, another blot on their reputation. This will no doubt be the final nail in the coffin for many players who will end their love affair with Fallout 76 right now. Players just don't like being lied to. But that raises a deep question for the remaining players. How many more times will you allow yourselves to be disappointed, lied to, and let down before it's time to move on? Does Bethesda still deserve your unconditional love at this point? If them lying to you about the game isn't a deal breaker for you, how much further will you allow them to go? Now, we've characterized Bethesda here as like the abusive relationship who cheats on you, lies to you, and does everything they can to get what they want, which is quite a good analogy in this sense, I believe. So, like, if you see yourself as the victim in this relationship, like, the question at the end is, like, how much further are you going to allow them to go before you realize that this is a toxic relationship? You can't carry on allowing them to lie to you, because this is not what they promised, right? They promised something different, just like the nylon bag thing, right? It's just they promise one thing, they deliver another, and without the vast for feedback in the blog post saying, let us know what you think about these changes. Well, this is the community responding to that. We don't want these changes. We don't want you to change what was, manageable in a cosmetic item shop, microtransaction store in the game. We can manage with that because it's not pay to win. The moment that you change that, we're not happy with it. I'm interested to see what Bethesda's response to this is, whether they respond at all.
I feel like they've been quiet for a while. They haven't had any real drama for a little while because Anthem's been taking all the heat. Like, Anthem's been there.
They've been laying low.
Yeah, they've been messing shit up. It's like,
hunkering down.
They can take the bullets and we'll hide behind them. And then Anthem died down for a little bit. So they were like, okay, now we can roll this out. But now Anthem's got drama as well. They're both fucking it up.
Yongye's already uploading. Next up, it's time for the juices part of your day. It's the gaming news nuggets.
Nuggets, bitch! Review bombing has begun on Borderlands 1 and 2 Steam pages in response to the announcement of Borderlands 3's exclusivity to the Epic Store. We saw a similar thing happen when Metro Exodus was announced as an Epic Store exclusive, leading to the previous titles 2033 and Last Light being review bombed. Interestingly, this will be the first major test of Steam's update to their review system that we spoke about last week.
We do actually talk about this topic in depth on this week's podcast, so check that out on this coming Sunday, mark it in your diaries. Some of Nintendo Switch's major titles will be made available in VR. Using the upcoming Nintendo Labo VR set, players will be able to play a bite-sized version of Super Mario Odyssey in VR, while Breath of the Wild is said to be fully supported by VR. The Labo VR set launches on April the 12th, and these games will be available for VR on April the 26th.
Starlink Battle for Atlas's toy line production has been grounded due to lower than expected sales, according to Ubisoft. Starlink's big gimmick as part of the Toys to Life genre was that players could purchase toy ships in the real world, use them in-game, and swap their weapons and abilities on the fly. However, Ubisoft has said that the game will continue to receive new content digitally, including a free update this month adding new challenges, missions, and activities.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey has received its latest patch update. The 4.4GB patch comes in support of the game's upcoming DLC pack, The Fate of Atlantis, which begins on April 23rd with the first episode, Fields of Elysium. The patch also adds the ability to create and save custom loadouts for your character, as well as various bug fixes.
Legendary boxer Mike Tyson took to Twitter yesterday on April the 4th to express his disappointment about not being involved in a new Punch-Out game. If that sounds confusing, it's because there has been no official word that a new Punch-Out is actually coming. So has he just leaked that the new game is coming out, or has he just suffered a few too many hits to the head?
Speaking of potential leaks, a new weapon may be coming to Apex Legends. The fan favourite gun from Titanfall 2, the L-Star light machine gun. The leak came amid server issues and shutdowns with the game on Wednesday, where some players were receiving skins for the currently unavailable weapon from Apex packs.
We got a debut trailer for the Dragon Quest animated movie adaptation on Wednesday. The Square Enix JRPG began its life with the first Dragon Quest game on the NES. The movie version will be hitting Japanese audiences in August, but there has been no word of an international theatrical release.
And after coming out around this time last year, Sony Santa Monica's masterpiece God of War is still sweeping the games industry. Cory Barlog and his team recently took home 5 awards at the BAFTAs, including Best Game, Best Narrative, and Best Performer. The game has taken numerous awards already, including Game of the Year from the Game Awards, the DICE Awards, and the Game Developers Choice Awards, among many, many others. So there you have it for your gaming news nuggets for today. All the links to everything that we've just mentioned will be down in the description of this video if you're going to go read and watch them for yourselves.
Is it joke time?
It's time for a joke, and today's joke comes in from Tons. I took the shell off my racing snail thinking it would make him go faster, but instead he's now more sluggish. Thanks very much, Tons, for your contribution to the Bad Dad Jokes channel on the PGG Discord. If you want to get access to that yourselves, head over to patreon.com/prettygoodgaming, where you can become a supporter of the channel and get access to our awesome Discord. Why wouldn't you do that?
The British monarchy are a staple of British nationalism. Beloved by millions internationally, they are constantly the focus of media attention. Prince Harry in particular has had his run-ins with media controversy and drama in the past. However, he recently weighs in on the debate about video game addiction, specifically the biggest name in the discussion, the massively popular battle royale game Fortnite. In a move that definitely didn't reinforce how out of touch the royals are with what we lowly peasants do, he called for the game to be banned.
The way you say lowly peasants just doesn't come off the...
that's the point. It's meant to be saying it from his perspective. I embodied the character.
Yeah. But it comes from your mouth, it just doesn't sound authentic.
Lowly.
You lowly peasants. It's like you've said that a few times, right? You lowly peasants.
I'm just so upper class.
The funny thing is, even you are a lowly peasant in Prince Harry's eyes, right? That's the...
You're the one who says I'm posh. I'm only 1011 in line for the throne. God. Speaking at a YMCA event in London, he said, "It's fun to stay at the YMCA."
I wonder what costume he was in. The bricklayer
or was he a Nazi this time? That game shouldn't be allowed. Where is the benefit of having it in your household? It's created to addict, an addiction to keep you in front of a computer for as long as possible. It's so irresponsible. It's like waiting for the damage to be done and kids turning up on your doorsteps and families being broken down. Gamers on Twitter haven't exactly responded well to the prince's statements. Sheen said on Twitter, "Prince Harry is only attempting to ruin the entire gaming industry because he's getting his ass whooped by 10-year-olds and he's too tight to keep shelling out on tactical spades."
Matthew Martin said, "Not a fan of Fortnite, never even played the game, but Prince Harry could not be more out of touch trying to get it banned. We don't ban art, movies or music in this country. Games should be no different. Don't become that royal that gives people a reason to dislike the monarchy."
From Dad Geek, what does he know about a normal household? Or anything normal for that matter, and shared an article titled, "It's time to stop blaming Fortnite and start being a parent." However, some people did share Harry's beliefs.
Laura Elmer Fargoso Amador said, "This is a real prince, the one who cares for human needs for his people's needs, especially young people. The game owners just want to make business of people weaknesses. Bravo, Principe Enrique y Meghan." I'm guessing this lady isn't even a British national.
One would think, but I quite like a Principe Enrique y Meghan.
It's funny how the people sticking up for him seem to be not in the UK. Like he's a bigger celebrity outside of the UK. It seems like, and people are backing him up when they're
so many
when they're not paying his bills. Like
yeah, right. So many Americans really love the monarchy. They're obsessed with it. I'm like I Okay? They're just people. They're just people. AM said, as a former video game addict, Prince Harry is right about Fortnite's addictive power. But what isn't addictive these days? Really need timers and parental controls.
Some agreed with the intention of raising awareness of game addiction, but condemned the notion of a ban. As Tweety Weety said, I agree with Prince Harry that it's irresponsible of parents to allow young children to play Fortnite, as it is for any game where they can connect with others online, but calling it addictive and asking for an outright ban is ridiculous.
He also spoke about social media being more addictive than drugs or alcohol, despite launching his own Instagram account shortly before his YMCA appearance. So that's just like, yeah, the social media really sucks while he's sitting there swiping away on
double tapping those Instagram booties.
Yeah, Insta booties.
Maybe that's what happened. Like the day that he made his Instagram account, he just sat there sat next to Megan, and he's double tapping on all these Instagram booties, and he was up all night, and he found it so addicted that he comes out the next morning, and he got told that Megan told him off, like, you don't do that, and so he's like, okay, I'll put this right, don't worry, and he's like, oh yeah, this social media stuff is all nonsense, and it's addictive because of those booties, right?
I bet the booties he was looking at were people cosplaying as Fortnite characters or something.
Yeah,
like the cartoons.
That makes sense. That makes sense totally. But seriously though, how much time has he put into Fortnite to have this kind of enlightened opinion? Like how many of his family has he seen addicted to this game? How many first-hand experience?
Speaking of the fact, I don't imagine the Queen. The Queen
maybe that's what it is.
She's a high level. She's a streamer, but no one can get access to it. She's just streaming to like Saudi princes.
It all makes sense. Prince Philip had that crash recently. He was driving while he was
on his phone,
playing Fortnite on his Switch because he's addicted. It all makes sense, guys. Stop playing Fortnite while you're driving is the message.
Just stop.
It's not about game addiction. It's about Prince Philip crashing his stupid car because he's driving way too old.
Lots of people hate the monarchy. Lots of people love them. I don't really care. I've got my own opinions on it. But it's not really about that. It's about someone in such a position of power saying they should ban it because it's addictive. It's so dismissive.
Yeah.
And it indicates that we've seen all the time, anytime like video game violence comes out or something like that, it's just a fundamental misunderstanding of stuff. And it's a lack of information. He's not informed enough to make these kind of decisions.
That is the point for me, that if you're coming out as an industry, like as a personality like this, where everyone's going to listen to him, you've got to make sure you've done your research. Now, based on what is this information? Is it based on first-hand information, or is it like research that he's done, or is it somebody just told him, or is it some article that he's read or some headline that he's read? I want to know that, and that's what's important about this information, right? This is the type of thing that you can just take on face value. You've got to question why he's saying things like that. Like, what makes you say that, Harry? Do you have any proof? Or where's the evidence? Tell me now, because otherwise you can just fuck off.
There are some doctors and scientists who do say that it is addictive, and because kids keep playing it, and some kids have been like prescribed medication to stop. But then there are others who say the word addictive is the wrong word because of the like chemical processes that go on in your brain associated with addiction. That doesn't happen with Fortnite and playing games.
Yeah. So when did Harry become the scientist, though?
Exactly.
When did he conduct his own research? That's what I want to know.
I mean,
how qualified is he? I don't think he is. Just shut your mouth and do something for charity.
You're good at that. So that's it for your Friday news roundup and from us for the week, I guess. If you are a patron, you can see our podcast later today, early. But if you are one of these lowly peasants that we mentioned before, you will have to wait until Sunday.
Don't be a lowly peasant.
Don't be a lowly peasant. You get access to the podcast by being a subscriber to our Patreon. That's at patreon.com/prettygoodgaming. You'll get access to the podcast as well as a bunch of other things, including the Discord channel. Send us a joke. It'll be really great. I've been Henry. He's been Gaz. We'll see you on Monday. Bye for now. What a joker. Yeah. Have you seen that video? I think he sees someone dressed up as Batman and he goes, what a joker. And then cackles like mad at his own joke because he thinks it's hilarious. What a joker. Yeah.
What a joker.
Angie Asimus, 7 News.